Good evening, Yaakov. Good evening to the audience.
The Abraham Accords, as you know, were also dubbed the economic peace. There were high business expectations, especially in Israel. And now, over a year later, would you say that those expectations were met? Where do we stand?
You know, the Abraham Accords and the agreement between Israel and the UAE is like a baby, less than 2 years old, that already speaks 3 languages and can run marathon. The idea is, we are running forward, with all aspects. We are running forward with agreements between both governments, with economic ties between both governments, with anything that related to relations and good relations between 2 nations that would like to work together, to move forward together, and to do things for the sake and for the good of their people, the region, and the entire world.
We obviously,
and I can say that I'm very happy with what I see.
We obviously see very goodwill on both sides. But, every now and then things happen in Israel, around the Middle East. They get problematic, let's say, conflicts, violence, whatnot. What's the impact of this on the relationships between Israel and the UAE?
I gave a lecture in Dubai together with the Minister of Economy of the UAE, and one of the people there, chairman of the company, asked us the same question: what will happen if there will be some misunderstanding or between both nations? And I said, let me tell you a secret. We will have these agreements, but when we are having these agreements, we are talking about them, we are solving them, and we are moving forward. We came here for a marathon. We didn't sign this agreement as a 200-meter sprint. It's a marathon. It's a long-term marathon. It's a growth engine, strategic growth engine, economic growth engine, and change that will bring the change to all the region.
Were there points where it was hard for you to be an Israeli ambassador in the UAE after things that happened around?
I can tell you that I'm feeling here like home, like in a family, a big family. I don't forget for any second that I'm getting this treatment here because I'm representing Israel and what it stands for. And I can tell that even when we have these agreements, everything is, on the table. We are talking very frankly, and we are moving forward. I'm very happy to be here, and I'm not feeling any difficulties.
What are the main fields where you see the most cooperation between the UAE and Israel and vice versa?
We're talking about G2G, government to government. We are talking about B2C, business to customer, or B2B. But I think that we should focus on P2P, people to people. We should bring people together. Israelis are early adopters of technology and early adopters of tourism. Many of us came to the UAE, and we are expecting the Emiratis to come to Israel, to see Israel, to feel Israel. When we'll be together and we'll know about each other, we'll respect each other's culture, we can move forward in all fields. I can say that we are running forward very fast on the economic fields. We just have a government resolution in Israel and here at the Emirates to establish a joint R&D fund of $100 million. We are just finishing now the paperwork between both sides. We are about to sign a free trade agreement between both governments in the very, very, very near future. And I think that everything that related to economy, to people, is running very fast forward.
I know you have background in tourism, so I want to go back to the point you've mentioned. We've seen many Israelis flocking to Dubai, for example, but less so in the opposite direction. What can we do? What can you do? What can Israel do to bring more people here?
First of all, I would like very much to see more Emiratis coming to Israel. We just, going out of the Corona period, COVID-19, we had some, difficulties on bringing tourism to Israel. I think that, and I'm saying it to my friends, the Emiratis, that in the summer here, where there is 50 degrees here in Abu Dhabi or in Dubai, the weather is much cooler in Tel Aviv and Jerusalem and the Sea of Galilee. And I hope that we will see them, and we'll see them fast. Now, take into consideration that we are a nation of 10 million people, and here there are only around 2 million Emirati citizens. So, the numbers are not equal.
Right. Regarding military cooperation, this is something that we haven't seen before. You expect that to grow over time?
I'm expecting everything to grow over time, but when you are talking about military cooperation or something like that, this is something that what happened here during January, and Israel said that we will stand by the UAE. We will do anything needed to cooperate. We would like a better world. We would like quieter world. We would like more peaceful world. And we will do everything to help our allies, such the UAE, to do it.
Ambassador Amir Hayek, I thank you very much. Have a good evening.
Thank you for having me on air with you.
Thank you very much. You're welcome to come again, of course.